Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman Wargamer. It's an open the box and it's an unboxing of a second edition of a game from a series that has proved to be quite popular with wargamers, and it is of course Next War Poland. Game designed by Mitchell Land with a system design from Gene Billingsley. The time is tomorrow. And this is the second edition. So, what's all this about? Next War Poland, second edition, is the fourth volume in the Next War series. This game moves the action from Asia to Europe and allows players to fight a near-future war in Poland and the Baltics as the Russians and their allies Belarus invade and NATO responds. A large proportion of Poland and Lithuania and all of Kaliningrad are represented by the operational hex map, while the rest of the Baltics are represented by a more abstract strategic display. The Russians are not the behemoth of the Cold War, but they possess good material and have surprise on their side. The Baltics, using new rules and mechanics, may fall quickly, although their forces may put up some resistance while the front establishes itself in eastern Poland as the Russians pour through the Suwalki Gap. Meanwhile, NATO frantically rushes forces into the area, spearheaded by the Allied Rapid Reaction Corps, followed up by whatever nation's troops respond to the Article 5 declaration. The question is, can NATO stop the Russians, or will Poland be overrun while Russia presents the world with a fait accompli? A game turn is generally composed of weather determination. Bad weather can severely hamper air and naval operations activity and can significantly slow ground operations. Initiative determination and air naval phase, wherein air superiority levels and all air availability are determined and sea control is established or modified. Then there's the special operation phases in the advanced game, allowing players to utilise their special operators in various recon and raid missions behind enemy lines. One or more movement and combat phases that allow both sides to move, react and fight with an advantage to the initiative player on non-contested turns. Arrival of reinforcements and replacements, and victory determination. Combat resolution examines not only unit strengths, but also unit efficiency, representing training, doctrine and morale, as well as the terrain where the combat takes place. The combat results table tends to be very bloody in nature, reflecting what we believe will be a degree of attritional warfare early due to the lethality of modern weapons. As in many games, casualties represent not only actual combat losses, but also losses of unit cohesion brought about by the rapid pace which modern armies are able to engage and exploit on the battlefield. This second edition provides an updated order of battle for the Russians and the Poles, along with minor changes to other units. So it seems a lot going on, quite complex, and this is reflected in the game meter here. We have two scores for complexity, one for the standard rule set and one for the advanced rule set. So standard is 5 out of 9 and the advanced complexity is 8 out of 9, while the solitaire suitability very high at 7 out of 9. Here's a preview of the map and some of the counters. And in the box we have one 22 by 34 inch map, one 22 by 34 inch strategic display, one 11 by 34 inch northern map extension, one 8 by 11 inch optional island map, 5 counter sheets, one standard and advanced series rules booklet, one game specific rules, 9 play aids. 7 of those are 8.5 by 11 inches and 2 are 11 by 17 inches. Game scale, brigade, regiment and battalion. Players 1 to 2, ages 14 plus. Time, each game turn is 3 to 5 days, and the map, each hex is 7.5 miles. Okay, let's get the shrink wrap off. The shrink wrap is off, so let's open the box. First thing we see in this standard 1.5-inch GMT box are the rules. So let's have a look at those. So these rules, full colour of course, matte paper, and come in at 48 pages. And as you can see, are split into the standard series rules and the advanced series rules. Now, because this is the most recent reprint of the Next War series, I believe, if I remember correctly what Mitch said when he was on the War Room, that these are the rules you now use, because any tweaks and clarifications, etc., will be in this latest combined rule booklet. So I won't go through it all, of course, but standard looking rule book. So here we've got the standard series rules, and as we saw on the front, ends at 22 pages. And the other half of the rulebook is the advanced series rules. Quite a lot going on with this game, and I would suggest having a go at the standard rules first and get used to how the thing works, and then have a go at the old advanced game. And at the end we've got the nationality identification chart and a lovely index. And on the back, the part of the game which a lot of people, including myself, have a little bit of a problem sort of getting my head round, is the naval movement. Them's the rules. Here's the game-specific rules and scenarios for the second edition, and this has changed significantly, I believe. And in the Next War series supplement number 3, there is actually included a copy of this. So if you've got the first edition, I think what they're saying is get the supplement, because there's scenario changes with orders of battle and things like that. And as you'll see with the unboxing, extra bits of map. But if I get a chance, I'll do an unbagging video for supplement number 3 so you can see exactly what's in it. But here we are, the game-specific rules and scenarios. Comes in at 36 pages. And again, no need to go through it all. So changes to the standard rule set specific for Poland. So what are we up to? 15. We're into the optional rules now. There we are. 19 and a bit pages of specific rules, and then we're into the scenarios. So there we are. And at the end, designer notes. And what do we got here? Some order of battle notes. And on the back, some theatre weapon range tables. There we go. Forgot to point out in the series rules that some of these apply to both standard and advanced rules, while others apply only to advanced rules. Also, there are standard scenarios for when you've just read the standard rules, and there are 6 of those, and scenarios for when you're ready with the advanced rules. There are 3 of those, but they are bigger scenarios. So there we go, glad I remembered about that. Here's the map, and as I always say, in nearly all its glory, I can't quite fit it all in. Very shiny map, so sorry about bits of glare here and there. So here's Poland. So a typical next war map, nice and clear. Let's have a little close-up. So nice, clear terrain features. Yep, you'll be happy with this map. Here's the top of the map, and as you can see, it looks like something else is going to go there, and indeed there is. There's this top part showing us some more of Kaliningrad, Lithuania and Belarus. And this is included along with separate mini-map showing the islands of Gotland and Bornholm. And I assume they weren't included in the first edition because both are included in supplement number 3. This is the strategic display, a sort of zoomed out map compared to the other one. And up here we've got the phase track, and over here the general records track, surrendered units, Allied and non-Allied Special Forces mission boxes, and Finland, Gulf of Finland, Estonia, the Northern Baltic. There's Gotland, and down here is Bornholm, those 2 islands on the little mini-map I showed you just now. Over here we've got the part of the display that deals with all the sort of air missions, and if we just move it down a touch, we can see the rest of the air mission display. And here's Poland, Kaliningrad and Belarus right over here in the corner. And we've got some dice roll modifier tables here. Now, I could be wrong, but this and the other map appear to be printed on really shiny paper compared to the other 2nd edition games in this series that I have. Hence the glare here. But what I am worried about, I hope it doesn't occur with these type of shiny maps, is it starts to crack along the creases. So fingers crossed for that. But that's the strategic display. Next, there are 5 sheets of counters. Here's the first one, again on the thicker brown core that we have got used to with GMT Games. And the other side, sheet 2. The counters look great, and some may think they look a bit busy, but once you get used to what everything is, it's not so bad. Sheet 4, a lot of admin counters here, but we've also got some replacement counters for Next War Vietnam, Next War Taiwan, and Next War Korea. And here's sheet 5, some more admin counters. And the other side. And then there are quite a few handouts, some for the standard game, others for the advanced. And here we've got the standard game sequence of play. And on the other side, the advanced game air defense resolution. There are 2 terrain effects charts. And this, of course, explains what all the different terrain means, how it affects combat, and movement allowance for the different types of units. And on the other side, combat results table, and all the DRMs, and even a little track to keep track of them. Here's one for the NATO and US setup, and on the other side, the US reinforcement schedule, and one for NATO. Here's a handout with some handy tables and reminders on it. We've got the strike effects table on this side and the LOC diagram. And here on the other side, we've got the transition to or from the operational map across to or from the strategic display. Strategic display rules, quick reference here, and a quick reference for Next War Poland ADF. Here we've got some standard game tables, air defence fire and air points. And on the other side, tables that are common to both standard and advanced rules. So paradrop, clearing operations, mine clearing, bridge repair and HQ bridge construction, contested sea movement and sea control, and down here, replacement, reconstitution and loss of airbase or airfield. And here's the advanced sequence of play. Hold on. It carries over to the back. So a lot more going on with the advanced rules. And 2 copies of the tables you'll need for playing the advanced game. And these are bifold. So on the front we have Special Operations Forces Combat Result Table. And some smaller ones down the bottom, including light infantry infiltration, supply ranges, and isolated effects. And opening up the bifold, we have tables for advanced detection, air combat, air defence, and advanced strike. And on the back, lots more tables such as advanced interdiction, deliberate damage, repair, and collateral damage. And last thing in the box, apart from the insert, a D10. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing of a new P500 I've just received, and it is the 2nd edition of Next War Poland, game designed by Mitch Land and the system design by Gene Billingsley and published, of course, by GMT Games. There seems to be quite a bit of difference between the 1st and 2nd editions, but this is where that 3rd supplement comes in, and I'm not sure what you're going to make of that. But I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. If you did enjoy it and you haven't done so already, why not have a think about subscribing to the channel? There's still 40% of you out there that haven't done it, you tinkers, but it would be great if you would consider it. Really does help. Pushing the like button of the video, the thumbs up, helps as well. And if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then push the bell. By all means, I encourage you to leave a comment. I quite like this series. I haven't played any on the channel yet, but I have tinkered with it off camera, and it is nice and crunchy. But what do you think? Let me know. I love to read them. Thanks as always to my subscribers. Thank you so much. And just before I go quickly, if you want to support the channel a little bit further, well, now you can. You can buy the channel a coffee, and I'll leave a link in the description for that. Or you can push the super thanks button underneath this video. Either of which, if you decide to do, will be gratefully received and helps the channel to keep ticking along, and both the channel and myself, thank you. Right then, until next time. As always, you take care and goodbye.